The next is, so now Yusuf alayhi salam is growing up from his childhood age to an age of maturity. And when he reached the maturity, by this time he was adolescent now, and he has reached his maturity, and he looked the handsome person of his time and for all the time. And we gave him the wisdom and knowledge, and thus we reward the good doers. So this is also one more significance that Allah gives, that for the good doers is they give them, Allah give him the wisdom and knowledge. And now he faced the next problem is, because he is handsome, the wife of his master wants to seduce him, which is a very pathetic situation for him. That's what has happened now. And sought to varawadathu, and sought to seduce him, the one she who's in her house, which means his own master's wife wants to seduce him. And she was waiting for such an opportunity for a very long time to seduce him. And she used this opportunity where she closed the doors and she said, come on, you. And people who are clever enough could understand what is the logic behind this word. And now see Yusuf alayhi salam, who is pretty charm, young chap. There is nobody else to stop them from doing crime. But see the fear that he has exposed him, that he said, Ma'adallah, I seek refuge in Allah. Verily he, nobody else is watching now. This place is safe. But something more to interpret as, my Allah is watching. I seek refuge in Allah. Verily he is my Lord, who has made good my stay. I will not do something bad or contradictory to my master, and who has made my stay good. Verily will not be successful the wrongdoers. And certainly she did desire him, and he would have desired her also. Allah says, if not for the mercy of Allah, Allah says, if not we show, if not we show the proof of his Lord, definitely he could have also get a chance to do a sin. But because Allah has showed his proof to him, and Allah has gave him good maturity, intelligence, so that he can safeguard himself from the big sin. And now Allah says, because of Allah's mercy, Yusuf alayhi salam didn't do this mistake. Thus, we might avert from him the evil and fahisha, the immoral act. Verily he, Allah is telling, giving certificate about the character of Yusuf alayhi salam, and says, verily he is of our slave who is a sincere slave. Allah himself says he is a sincere. And the action happens like they both raised each other towards the door, where she tore his shirt from the back. And when this was happening, they found near the doorstep her husband. Now her husband has come near the doorstep. Now it's a general, it happens even today. Whenever this crime gets exposed, the females complain against the male, and that's what has happened here. She said, who that lady who wants to seduce Yusuf alayhi salam says these words, what is the recompense of the one who intends of her wife an evil? She puts the blame on Yusuf alayhi salam, which is not the case, which is not the truth. Except that she says, except that he should be imprisoned or he should be given a painful punishment. Now Yusuf alayhi salam explains his stance to his master and says, she was the one who was about to seduce me about myself, and testified a witness of her family. And now he was confused. Her husband could not understand what is happening. All of a sudden, both were blaming each other. And there were a witness testified a witness of her family. Mufassirin says it is a child which was sleeping inside the family, inside his home, was speaking. That is also an explanation. Or there was a sound that was coming up saying these words. If is his shirt. So to do a litmus test of on whose the error is, a sound comes and says, or the child which is there in the home says that if his shirt is torn from the front. So this is the litmus test. Is torn from the front, then she has spoken the truth and he is the liar. Then the criminal is Yusuf alayhi salam. If his shirt is torn from the back, and people who are clever enough can understand what is this scene is all about. From the back, then she has lied and he is truthful. Then the problem was with the lady, not with the male, which means Yusuf alayhi salam. But when he saw his shirt was torn from the back, so which reveals the truth that Yusuf alayhi salam is an innocent, and it was the plot of his wife. And he said, verily it is your plot. Kaidi kunna. Kunna is used when it is a fully feminine gender. So the plot is your plot, which means the plot of the lady, and verily your plot is great. You have done a big mistake. And Yusuf alayhi salam has turned away from this act, and he sought forgiveness for your sin and asked forgiveness. And he is telling to Yusuf alayhi salam that please ask forgiveness for her sin. Verily you are of the sinful, referring to his wife. That's why you find instead of ka, it is ki everywhere, which means it is feminine gender. It is feminine gender. So seek forgiveness from Yusuf alayhi salam for the mistake that you did, and you are the sinful. So this is what has happened. And what was the incident that is folding up next? Inshallah, we'll discuss what happened after this, and how where Yusuf alayhi salam has landed up after